My name is Julia.
My name is Sydney.
This is Finding Balance Within.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm sorry.
We still sometimes forget the name of our podcast. That's because we don't podcast enough.
We don't. We're trying to get better about it.
Yeah. I just realized I was going to start with a pillow in front of my stomach.
Oh yeah, surprise,
Yeah.
guys. I knocked her up.
Yeah. I am 23 weeks pregnant, if you can't tell. So
It's so exciting. I don't know why I jolted up like that.
Yeah. And it kind of pertains to what we're going to talk about today, which is body image. Something that I'm working on right now. It's actually been better now than it would have been in the past for me.
Yeah, I mean, you've come so far with like just your body image, and I think also, I know you'll probably talk about it, but you were in like the best shape of your life before you got pregnant.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I feel like that's common for women, like especially that are into fitness and health, that it's like they get into the best shape of their life, whether they're trying to get pregnant or they're not, and then boom, baby comes, and then your body's like, I don't want to say goes to shit because it's not like that.
Right.
Like we need to stop that mentality, but it changes and it's supposed to change.
Yeah.
But you are so like set on what you looked like before, and then you know that's a hard like thing to battle.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it was good. It felt really good to still experience that before I got to this place. Like, to have fallen, like, I had accepted my body for what it was, but to, like, it was like once I had accepted my body, that's when I started to get into the best shape of my life. Like, things got easier. It's like the hatred I had towards my body over the years led to it, like, almost like self-sabotaging me in a way.
Yeah.
And so it's like once I started to accept my body as it was, then like my figure slowly started to get better and better, and I started to get better with my nutrition and my fitness, and it was just like things fell into place. So it was really cool to experience that before like I went through a time of huge transition in my body.
And change. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about body image. Last episode we talked about our relationship with food, and I feel like this is something that it's almost like the final chapter of like some of the tough mental things that you go through with adolescence.
Yeah, for
sure. In a way.
Well, and your body, like body dysmorphia, it's a real thing. Body image, disorder, it's kind of the same thing. Someone can tell me, "Oh, you look so great," and in that 5 seconds, they tell me that it feels good. It's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." Like,
yeah,
maybe I don't look as bad, but then like 10 minutes goes by, and then I'm like, "You sack of shit!" Like,
yeah,
you don't look good. We literally can look in the mirror and see something completely different than when she looks in the mirror and looks at me or whatever, and that's what that is.
Also, I think about this. We call ourselves a sack of shit a lot in this podcast. I'd love to go back and just get a tally count of how many times we've called ourselves like a sack of shit or a piece of shit, because that's
don't do that.
how we
Don't
always refer
like
to
us.
ourselves when we're like talking negatively about ourselves. So I just think that's kind of funny.
But
like, that's the phrase we've both chosen. It's interesting.
I think it's like less invasive than what I want to say.
Yeah, that's true.
So I could be real mean.
Right.
But still, either way.
It's self-deprecating.
Don't do that.
But almost in like a comedic way. Like, we're trying to kind of play it off a little.
Yeah.
But
which, to be honest, do you want to have any negative self-talk? No. But it's also human nature. You're going to have a little bit sometimes, like,
yeah.
You don't just, I don't just wake up and have good thoughts. Like, it takes effort, daily effort for me to have good thoughts about myself. Like, I don't just have natural bad thoughts about other people, but I do myself. So it's just a constant daily practice, and I think that's okay. But
it's about finding that counter voice, because you're always going to have like that negative voice that'll creep in, but you have to like reparent that and come in with a gentler tone after to kind of help reparent that. Because the negative voice, it's not your enemy, it's the part of you that just doesn't feel good enough.
Yeah, it's like a part of you that needs,
it's almost like a protective
healing
mechanism.
Yeah, because it's like,
I'm trying to think of the right words. You're trying to protect yourself almost by like keeping yourself down in a way. But
do you think it's almost like a trigger? Like, you know, like they say, like, oh, if you're triggered by that, like you're not healed in that area, or you know, you have more healing to do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like that could be similar.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, first I wanted to start off with I told Julia before we started this episode, I was like, try to think about the first time you started noticing your body and like having negative thought towards it. And for me, that was in like fourth or fifth grade, I'd say, which you said was about the same for you.
Yeah. Which is sad because like I don't have a kid yet, but my niece is 3 years old, and like I never want her like to. It makes me sad. I want to cry to think about her like looking at in the mirror, or looking at her body and not liking it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
like that's just heartbreaking. And
it
I
is. And
did
it
that.
feels so young to
Yeah, like
think
you
about
shouldn't
things
even
like
be
that.
focused on what you look like. You know, like
Hmm.
go outside, go play, go have fun with your friends. Like go hang out with your mom and dad. Like, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be worried and not wanting to go out in public because you have dimples on your legs, or, you know, or you
Yeah.
shouldn't even know what that is. Like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
I'd say like for me it first started probably like around fourth grade, and that's when I started getting like body hair, like dark leg hair. And so like it instantly made me self-conscious and like want to shave, especially because there were some girls who were already shaving, and so you start to think about that.
Isn't that so funny when, I don't know about you, but like, I was like, oh, so and so's shaving. Like, can I start shaving? And my
Yeah.
mom was like, no. Like,
Hmm.
what the fuck? No.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to. And I remember the first time I shaved, I was taking a bath and I cut myself. I had like one of those thick Venus razors with
Ugh,
like,
yeah.
I miss those. Those are expensive though.
Yeah,
I
they are.
get the cheap ones and I like nick myself all the time.
Yeah,
Who am I kidding? I need to shave. But
I probably do.
I cut myself because my mom like kept trying to like, I don't want to say instill fear in me, but she was like basically trying to get me to not want to shave. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? She's like, you have your whole life to do that, blah blah blah. You don't
It's
need
a
to
big
shave right
job.
now. It's a big job. It's gonna take forever of your time, whole
Yeah.
time in the shower, and you can cut yourself a lot. So the first time I did it, I screamed. It didn't hurt me. I screamed, and she came in there, and she was so pissed off at me because she was like, I was like, I cut myself, and it didn't even hurt, you know, and I was like proud of it.
Wait,
And
did she know you were shaving though? Or was that
yeah, I'm not sure actually. I'm not really sure. I don't remember that part. And she was mad because she was like, "You don't scream like that," because I thought something was seriously
Yeah.
wrong. And I was like, well,
I'm
I'm just
bleeding.
just
That's
saying,
wrong.
it didn't fucking hurt like you said it was.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just tougher
And now I shave like once, twice a month. Like
than you. Thank
I
you.
just I'm just not that concerned about it anymore. And I think that's a little more self-acceptance. And some of it's probably that I have a loving partner that I know doesn't fucking care.
Right.
I'm not trying to like I don't have to impress him, and he understands that it's a big fucking chore
And it's
and that
annoying. And because you know what? I swear to God, from heaven above, I shave, and then like the next day, it's back.
yeah, that's just a lot of surface area. Like I pretty much keep up with like shaving my armpits and stuff just because I can't stand the feel of that.
Oh yeah,
But like leg hair,
I'm not gonna be like that type of person.
yeah, I'm not. I mean, you do you.
Exactly. You do you.
But
I'm
I
still
can't
gonna
deal with it.
wear aluminum free deodorant and shave
Yeah.
my armpits.
Yes.
I might go a few days without shaving them,
Right.
but
If I know I'm not going to wear a tank top,
yeah,
I'm okay. But then like after a while it just bothers me, so I have to get rid of it.
yeah, for sure.
But so that was the first thing I noticed was like body hair. And then the biggest thing that I really started that I can recognize as like a main event was in sixth grade. It was me and my friend Cheyenne, and we went to Hollister, picked out some new clothes, and we yeah, I know. And we came back, got it out of the brown bag, and it all smelled like the Hollister
dude. I haven't
cologne.
been there in forever. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we like tried them on and stuff. And I want to say I probably bought a size up from her. I can't remember for sure, but she was like very very lean and like long torsoed, and like I've always had a short torso like no matter what. And so like I remember having baby fat like as a kid, but I feel like it stuck out more, and I noticed it more once I hit 6th grade. And so like I just remember comparing myself to her and like, oh, like I felt like I had a muffin top like compared to what she had, which was just like this slim little figure. And so like I took notice of that, and then I remember in 6th grade pretty much tying a hoodie around my waist for the rest of that grade, probably 7th grade too, because like that was okay to do back then.
Yeah,
Like it was no big
that
deal.
was a trend.
But I solely did it to hide like my muffin
Aww.
top.
Which you probably didn't even really have one, but even
Yeah.
if you did,
Yeah, and it
like, who
was,
cares? Like,
yeah, so
it's,
little compared to, what it could have been.
yeah,
But
but it made you feel that way. And you felt, so did you feel shameful? That's why you were hiding it?
oh yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I tied a hoodie around my waist every single day. And then I think in like 7th or 8th grade, like that's when my boobs started to like really like get big. They got pretty big too, especially because I was a little thicker at that point in time. And so like then even that kind of made me uncomfortable, and I'm just like, I was,
You're like,
whew.
hoodie on my waist, hoodie over my tits.
Yeah, right.
You can't see
Double
me.
strapped up.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. And then I'd say like another reason that I feel like I really noticed body image was at that point, I'm trying to think when Facebook and like Instagram came into play. I know Instagram wasn't till a little later, but Facebook,
Did you have MySpace?
I did have MySpace too. Yes. Yeah.
Did you have Bebo?
No, I actually did not have
Okay.
that.
Sorry. Go on.
But I'm just trying to think because I know once like I really got into social media, I did start comparing myself a lot more. But even before we got to like the social media phase, which was probably 7th grade for me, maybe 8th grade, when it started to pick up, like Facebook. I mean, I guess I had MySpace before that, but I feel like
I feel like
MySpace wasn't a
MySpace was
lot
just
of,
like typing. Like it was like captions.
yeah, and
If I
like
can remember
putting,
correctly.
yeah, and putting like stuff on your profile. Like it
Yeah, it
wasn't
was
solely
like,
about like your image.
yeah.
It didn't feel like it was, I don't know, at least not for me. It
Yeah.
was more about like setting up my profile, making it look cool, and having a
Right.
good song on there and a
Yes.
layout.
Yeah.
But then like with Facebook, because you couldn't do so much with it, you had to like put more effort into yourself almost in
Yeah.
presenting that. But so like I feel like my mom and my sister, I would hear them talk about their body image a lot. Like, oh, my mom's like, oh God, I look so fat in this. And then my sister, being 6.5 years older than me, she was in that high school time when I was in that preteen. And so just like hearing her kind of obsess over her figure, which she had a great figure, but like just hearing them, it makes you think like that's how you should be talking about your body
Well,
too.
it's the norm, if you don't know any better or different, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, she's not happy with herself. Why should I be happy with myself,
Right. Yeah, like this is what
This is
you
what I
do.
do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about you? Would you?
I feel like mine was definitely around the same time. I like sprouted up really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like stretch marks from the get go, like on my calves and my thighs, and
Mm-hmm.
like no one else had that. Like I feel like when I was in middle school, I looked like I should have been in high school,
Yeah.
and it's like people think, oh, that's cool, that's you're lucky, and it's like no, you don't get it. Like I feel like I don't belong. Like so, I never really felt like I belonged,
Mm-hmm.
and I also was comparing myself to my mom and my sister, and my mom, she's got broader, like she's broader up top, but she still has tiny arms. Like the only place she holds weight is her belly. If she
Yeah.
does gain any weight, it's just her belly. She's got really big boobs and tiny chicken legs. And I mean, nice legs, but they're tiny. There's
Yeah.
no fat on them at all. And then my sister, after having 3 kids, she's gotten a little bit thicker now, but all throughout before she had kids and like when I was younger, like she was a cheerleader. She was cute little butt, skinny thighs, like big boobs also, like small toned arms, like it was everything that I wanted, and I didn't have that. Like
Yeah.
I had a butt and I was thicker, but like I didn't want that at the time. I wanted that, and I
Right.
was comparing myself. So then I just remember always complaining about like looking down at my legs and seeing like cellulite on the
Mm-hmm.
back of my legs or like the inner thighs. And my mom was like, you don't even have that, blah blah blah. And I would get so mad at her because I'd be like, you don't get it. You don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're telling me you don't see these things about me, but like of course you're saying that. You don't have it. So how can you see what I see?
Right.
And like I never slowed down and said like, thank you, mom, like thank you for saying I'm beautiful, thank you for saying these things, like
Right.
trying to like
It was
instill
just like
confidence
she
in me.
was the enemy
I was
almost.
like, yeah, I was 100% not able to look at that as it what it was. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I was like, nope, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about
Yeah.
because you can't understand what I'm going through.
Yeah, it feels like they're negating your feelings even though
Yeah,
they're
because they're
trying to
like,
be reassuring.
yes, and I probably do the same thing to people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Without realizing, I'm like, you
Yeah.
don't realize how beautiful you are, blah blah blah. You know, and
I
it's like,
know.
no, like, just acknowledge that I'm feeling some way about myself. You
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at a young age, like a very young age, probably I don't know what age it was, but it was too fucking young to be tanning in a tanning booth, I'll tell you
Oh
that.
yeah. We won't go
I
back to those days.
yeah, I had her sign like a waiver for me to fucking tan. That's how young it was.
Mm-hmm.
You needed a fucking mom's signature because I would cry to her because tan fat looks better than fucking pale fat, which everyone can agree with, okay?
Yeah.
And it helped like hide some of my stretch marks and it helped hide like my cellulite.
Yeah.
And it's just sad to think like I needed that. Like I literally like she didn't want to cave. She didn't want to do it. And then like I ended up talking to my sister. I'm like, please have her help me. Blah, 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 blah. Like I don't feel comfortable. Blah, blah, blah. So then my sister started on my mom. Like
Mm-hmm.
just let her do it. Like who cares? Because my sister was tanning in high school and all that stuff too. So
Yeah.
it was just this thing that that's what I did. I grew up and like I went tanning and it made me feel better and
Yeah.
I always played sports and stuff, but I was always bigger than my siblings
Mm-hmm.
and like I never felt like I said I never felt like I fit in. Like and they growing up they called me FedEx. I kind of probably did it to myself, acting like that as a joke, but
Mm-hmm.
they called me FedEx or like UPS. They'd be like, "Oh, that's your mom, that's your dad," and like so now like still to this day I'm like, "Am I fucking adopted?" Like I don't think I am, but am I?
Yeah.
Like you can tell me now.
Just because you feel like you look so
I feel
genetically
like
different,
I
kind of.
genetically different. Yeah, like I definitely obviously have like characteristics from each of my parents, but like physically I can see my mom and my dad in me for sure, but just like physically, I feel like body wise and stuff like that, I'm like I just feel so different,
Yeah.
and I'm like, who's lying to me,
Right.
you know? But I don't know, and I still to this day struggle with body image issues, and
Yeah.
it upsets people in my family because they're like, you're basically annoying, like you don't realize what you have and all this, and I'm like, I'm not doing it to be annoying, or I try to be very mindful of that because I know I don't so much. I mean, I might joke and call myself fat, but I know I'm not fat. Like I'm not to do the fat shaming bullcrap. I'm not fat, and I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still not like 100% happy. Like I can pinpoint 10 things about myself that I don't like right now.
Yeah.
But I'm aware of like when I am around other people. I used to not be, but now I'm aware of when I'm around other people and I like talk badly about myself. I try to be mindful of like, okay, if I'm over here saying like, oh, I just feel fat, and like there's someone that's literally physically bigger than me,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
around me when I'm talking to them, I'm not going to say that. And maybe that's like something that's weird, but like, do you understand what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
Because if I'm bigger than you, and you're over here calling yourself fat, I'm like, well, damn, am I a fucking
What do you think
whale?
of me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what do you think of me? Like, do you
Mm-hmm.
think I'm gross? So it's like I
Yeah.
try to have that in my mind, and it actually helps my self talk because then I'm like,
Definitely.
I wouldn't call you fat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think you're fat.
Yeah.
It's like, so why do I view that myself that way?
Yeah. Definitely.
But basically, at a young age, I was fucked.
Yeah. And then, like, I feel like it, for me, it definitely peaked during my high school phase. When I started working at the gym at like 16, 15, no, 16. That's when I started to get into fitness. And then, like, that's when I thought I got in the best shape of my life was senior year because I got like really lean. But even then, like, I was still, because I wasn't doing as well, like I was counting calories and stuff, not more like protein, fats, and carbs, like that kind of focus. I was like skinny fat still. Like I was muscular, but I was still skinny fat to where I still like had like pudge on the side and like, but I was still like in the best shape that I had ever been in. And then college, gained that freshman
It's a
15,
thing. It
kind of
happens.
kind of destroyed my body image even more for a while, and then it felt like I was just back to a battle of chasing it to get to what I looked like senior year. And then just social media, just I didn't realize how much I scrolled and was constantly comparing everyone else I saw to myself. Like you don't recognize it in the moment because you're like unconsciously scrolling.
Yes, you're unconsciously scrolling, and then you're like, if you're not, like you said, if you're not conscious about it, like you'll be going through stuff and be like, oh, okay, oh, she's got a nice body, or oh wow, blah blah blah, and then like you're like, why do I feel like shit about myself?
Yeah.
Like you don't even put two and two together that that's probably why. No. And I have to unfollow people all the time on social media. Like you're on like a little hiatus right now, which is awesome, and I want to do that sometimes. I really do, but I've definitely decreased how much I get on there, which has helped, and like who I follow and stuff has helped tremendously. But yeah, I feel like social media in general is like a huge reason why people have so much like comparison issues, body image issues, probably even eating disorders, to be honest, and like depression to a degree. You know, I really think it's all tied in together, and until people like acknowledge that and take accountability also of your own suffering too, you know, like who are you following on social media? Like when you get on there, when you see this stuff, does it make you feel good or does it make you feel like crap? If it makes you feel like crap, you should probably unfollow them and remove them. You know?
And that's how I first started to change my relationship with social media was, okay, how can I better curate my feed to make me feel better and not like always so negative? So just unfollowing people, like, and not that I can't see pretty people without feeling shitty about myself, but like,
but sometimes
you're in a sensitive place.
Also realize, sometimes you might be in a sensitive place, and I mean, I've had to do that with someone that like I'm actually friends with, like because I will get in moods sometimes or like seasons of life where I'm like feeling crappy about myself, and I'm like envious of her because she's got like the life that I want someday, and she's dropped down gorgeous. She's a kind person. Like I will have to like limit myself from seeing her stuff because
and it's not that we don't wish the best for them.
Yeah, it's not that at all. It's just
for your
it's not good for my mental health in this state of mind that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Agreed. You know? Yes. And I think that's okay to like understand and accept and be like, you know what? Like I wish you well. It's not like I'm saying like see you later, see you never. Like it's just right now I'm not really doing the best mentally, and to support that right now, I just can't really see your stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna mute you for a minute, you know, and it's like there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Absolutely. So like I started by curating my feed, and then I've been on a couple of hiatuses with social media to where I'll just deactivate my profiles for a while, which I'm currently at right now. Sometimes it's just Facebook, sometimes it's Instagram, but like right now I'm just fully done with both, and I don't really have any interest in being a part of them right now. I just feel like they've changed. I love that. They've just changed so much over the years, and I can see the not even just comparison that I do, but like when I would post something, it was for validation. Yeah. And I want to stop seeking that so bad that I was like, I have to keep myself from doing that.
Honestly, really awesome of you to do that and realize that that's something that you did because you were seeking outside validation.
It's not like I just posted a photo because, I mean, there's photos I post like on trips to Colorado and stuff. Like I just loved our trip and wanted to post photos, but like if it was a picture of just me or a picture of me and one friend, it was like always looking for the photo I looked the best in so I could show that I'm
having fun, I'm fit, or this or that. Yeah. I feel like I do the same thing, and there's sometimes where I'm like, I just want to post this, and then I'm like, I ask myself, why do I want to post this? You know, like, is it because I'm looking for a validation? Like, and then that makes me feel icky. Like, you know, because it's like I have the validation that I want from the people I need it from the most. You know. Yeah. And yourself, you should have it from you. You know.
Definitely. Yeah. I feel like when I started therapy last year, I kind of like really opened up about that, like how much I still thought negatively about myself and like my fears. And I remember telling our therapist since we share a therapist.
Best friends go to the same therapist, okay?
Yep. It makes it easier when we have to talk about our issues.
Mostly
They're already
because the
filled in.
therapist already knows, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember telling him that like I can't wait to be pregnant because I feel like that's when I'm gonna actually like fall in love with my body and accept it for what it is because it's serving a purpose for me even though it's not the way I want it to look. Like that's when I thought was gonna be the changing point for me. And then full disclosure, I did get pregnant and I had a miscarriage about 8 weeks into that, which I think we're definitely going to do an episode on because I want to.
I think you should, whether I'm here or not. I would love to be here for it.
Oh, for sure.
But I think there's so many women out here that don't talk about that.
Yeah.
And the fact that you went through it all and you truly went through it by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you had Dylan, but
yeah.
you went through it by yourself.
I internalized it a lot.
But you were able to work through that, you know what I mean? And whether that you recommend people doing that or not, like you went through kind of everything, you know, and really then you allowed yourself to feel it all. So
yeah,
there's going to be hundreds of people on there, whether they watch our video or not, that will benefit from hearing that and not feel alone. So I definitely think that's something we should do.
Yeah.
You should do at some point.
And like in the point of like reflecting on the miscarriage and like healing from that, one thing like I remember thinking about was, oh my God, this is, well, one, I remember when I was pregnant before the miscarriage, already feeling like crap about my body. Like immediately when I got pregnant, it was like as the fat started to kick in, I was like, oh, I feel like I look gross, this and that. So it was like already
not going in with a good headspace.
Yeah, what I thought was going to be the greatest time, I was instantly shitting on myself. And then when I lost the pregnancy, it was like, oh my God, like I spent every moment of my pregnancy not enjoying it and focusing on something so superficial that I didn't enjoy the time that I did have being pregnant. And so then like on the healing journey, I just reflected a lot as to like why I did that and how I felt like it didn't serve me and it didn't let me enjoy the opportunity of being pregnant. And so like I think that helped me a lot because I knew like the next time that I got pregnant, like I'm not doing this again. Like I don't deserve that. I deserve to enjoy whatever amount of pregnancy I get to experience, and like my body is like great for what it's done, you know.
I think it's full circle, and that's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, this is something I pretty much tell everyone now. Like, I feel like I needed to go through that miscarriage to learn a lot of the things that I did throughout that process about me, about my relationship with my husband, about like everything. Like, I feel like I grew so much from such a tragic thing that like I still feel nothing but gratefulness for it, which is crazy to
freaking huge like spot to be in. Though.
Yeah,
that's really powerful because I feel like I don't know if I could go through that and look at it like that. I would hope, if I experience that someday, I can look at it and come out on the other end like that. But that's really hard to do.
Yeah, yeah. But the biggest thing that like I've experienced with this pregnancy is like one, after that miscarriage and after I reached a place of healing, that's when I started to get into the best shape of my life. And I think it's because I like really decided like this isn't going to be what it is. Like I'm going to love myself for, who I am. And like I became in tune with myself between meditating, breath work, journaling. It's like I was just like finally in touch with myself fully.
I also maybe we could after like we do or you do like a miscarriage video. I think the like a manifestation video about you bringing the baby.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be really freaking cool because you did that shit.
I did.
You literally fucking manifested that, but not even in like the I'm gonna be pregnant. Like I fucking.
It was just like the positive energy.
You were like, it's gonna happen for me, and when the time is right, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and it happened.
Yeah, exactly when I predicted it
cool. Too. Yes, yes, it's so cool.
Yeah. So then with this pregnancy, I can't lie, there was definitely a time like it's when you're like in that awkward first trimester phase where you don't look pregnant, and so you're just like putting on weight that you're like, it's like I still had those times where I'm like, I don't feel the best, but I was like also still reassuring myself, like, I'm grateful for this pregnancy. Like, my body is serving me. My body needs this extra fat to grow the baby. Like, it's with
It's all
purpose.
happening
And
for a reason. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And then once I started to like really show, it was funny because I was like, I told Dylan, my husband, I can't wait to finally look pregnant. I just feel like I look fat right now, or like overweight, and it's just pudgy and my clothes don't fit right. And then I popped and I'm like, holy shit, I look fucking pregnant. And he's like, this is what you wanted. And I'm like, you're
You're
right.
like, thank you. I forgot that. I
Yeah.
forgot I wanted that.
So it's not that I'm perfect in it, but I am so much more accepting of my body this time than I was last time I was pregnant.
Well, and like you said in the beginning of the video, how like you kind of started loving your body and loving like the process of your body and like
Mm-hmm.
eating right and feeling yourself, and then your body naturally like started
Found it.
found it like where you were supposed to be, like where your balance is,
Yeah.
like you found that being in tune with yourself. And I think that's what I'm really trying to work on, is like just listening to my body, not, oh, I saw this on Instagram, this looks good. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
what feels right for you? Like internally, what feels right for you. You just have to be still enough to listen.
Yeah.
And with social media and with everyone else's judgment and opinions, it's like you don't learn, you forget to trust yourself. So you are
Definitely.
able to really trust yourself. And I wonder too, like when I get to that point, which I really feel like I can trust myself with a lot of things, but
Mm-hmm.
the
I feel like you're closer than I've ever seen you be, though, to
yes,
that
I do
place.
feel like I'm getting like a profound difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think sometimes like with body image and stuff, like there's still a lot of days where I'm like, I don't like the way I look, so I need to go work out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a good mentality. Like sometimes if that's a motivation to get you to the gym and get you off your ass, like it is what it is. But
Yeah.
for me, like lately, I've been in the headspace like the last month or two where it's like that's been why I go to the gym and why I move my body,
Mm-hmm.
instead of like I'm moving my body because I love my body, like how you are.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what I'm working on right now. And again, I go through phases of it because sometimes I'm really good and I'm like, you know what? I gotta walk in today, or whatever. Like I'm grateful for my body and my legs that move and my heart that my heart that pumps.
My
And
lovely lady lumps.
yeah. But yeah, so it's a progress. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And I also think like my body can feel that resistance. And I think that's why I hold on to
Definitely.
extra weight. And like
Mm-hmm.
for me, I definitely hold on like in my hips. Sometimes my tummy, but like my hips and my arms, like my upper back and my arms, like my arm fat and stuff. Like
Yeah, same.
that is 100% where I hold on to like my extra fat.
Same.
And
I feel like we're like built like the same. Like you have a
I'm just
longer
longer.
figure. Yeah.
Yes,
But
we're built the exact same.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I feel like right now because I'm in that resistance phase essentially, instead of just like immersing with myself and like trusting myself, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, or I shouldn't eat that because that's gonna make me do blah 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 blah. I'm holding on to everything, so
Yeah.
like now I don't feel or look as fit as I did like a few months ago.
Yeah.
Even though I really truly haven't changed much
Mm-hmm.
besides just my mentality.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that like your mental state really has a huge, profound impact on everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like the time spent, looking in the mirror and like obsessing over that, like you're not meant to just constantly look at your body because you're always going to find imperfections that other people don't see or that other people see past because you're just so much more self-critical of yourself. So like looking in the mirror a little less has been fucking healthy for me.
Oh my
Posting
gosh, yeah.
not posting pictures of myself has been healthier for me. And I think one of the biggest things you said is thinking you don't have the answers within yourself when you really do. So it's like, stop looking to what fitness people are doing and like do what feels good and what serves you and what
Yeah, and you might need to like look for some like
workout
workout
ideas
ideas or
or,
something, but
but
then
don't,
you try it, and then if you're like, my body did not fucking like that, like,
yeah,
okay, try something different. Like, you're
right,
not stuck, you're not a tree, you're not planted somewhere and stuck, like you can do whatever you want, whatever feels right to you. Like,
yeah,
I did CrossFit for like 6 to 8 months. I wanted to do it because one, I wanted to try it, and two, I wanted to look like the ladies who do CrossFit.
Mhm.
I wanted to look fit AF. And guess what? I did not look fit AF. I
Yeah.
just looked bulky and big. Like, no.
Yeah.
But I also was like, this isn't. I kept trying to do it and kept trying to give it time. And the gym I went to was great, but it didn't feel right. It didn't resonate with me, and I was doing it for the wrong reasons.
Mhm.
And then I finally was like, I just can't do this anymore. And then, like, I found, like, love again for doing my own thing, listening to my own music,
Yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's what it takes, and sometimes you'll go through phases where you're like, I liked this for a while, now I want to try something different.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, ride that wave.
Right. Yeah, just trust yourself and don't be afraid to try things, but like you said, don't feel like you're stuck with one type of regime or something, and be kind to yourself and find a way to combat that inner voice. And not in a mean way, not like, oh, fuck you, I'm not a piece of shit, yada yada. But like, because I just feel like that inner voice that's like negative towards you, it's like, it's still your inner child, like wanting to protect you in some way. So it's like, no, we don't have to talk to ourselves that way, or no, that's not true, like, don't don't try to beat that voice down. Just try to
Almost
reteach
validate
it.
it. Like, validate it in a, yeah, like, reteach it and revalidate it
Mm-hmm.
and rewire your subconscious, because that's coming from somewhere. That's stemming from somewhere,
Yeah.
Like, one time my sister did say, I compared myself to. My sister and I have, like, pretty decent, good relationship now, but, like, we didn't always. I was a little twat of a little sister, and I, like, stole her shit, and now that she's had kids, we can share some of the stuff, but then I ended up being, like, way bigger than her, and, like, we didn't wear the same clothes. She was always smaller than me, so it was like, haha, karma. Like, that's what happens when you steal your clothes. But anywho, that was a tangent. Shit, what was I saying? Oh, one time I was talking to her about one of her and her other cheerleader girlfriends, and I was like, I just want to look. I just wish I looked like you, or like her sister's friend that was like my age or something. And she was like, well, you never will. And, like, that stuck with me,
Mm-hmm.
and it clearly still sticks with me, and
Yeah.
I know one time she told her friend that's a guy, and told me that, like, I looked like a man when I was, like, working out really hard and, like, had, like, not as much whatever, like, I was ripped. And I, like, hearing that from your own family,
Yeah.
even my, like, dad, like, has said, like, I don't know why you have to lift weights so much and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know, like, now I feel like I lift, even though I just said I've been working out lately for, like, my body image. I also do it for other reasons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I can defend myself. I know if you try to come and duck my ass, like, you're gonna
Regret it.
You're gonna regret it. Like, there's other reasons why I do it, but hearing from your own family, who should probably just support you in whatever makes you feel good, as long as it's in a healthy way, that's really crappy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you've got to find a way to just quiet those voices and
Yeah.
not let them hold so much weight. It's hard when it's family, but
Yeah, because I mean, even when you, like, you said that you felt like you looked like a man when you got, like, super lean and stuff.
Yeah.
I think because I like have extra fat on me, like, so my arms looked even bigger, when I am muscular. But, like, I never once thought you looked like that. You know what I mean? But with
And
me,
then it
like,
just shows how differently we see ourselves and what other
yes,
people see
absolutely. Because, like, the way you looked, I was like, no, that's what I want to look like.
too.
If that's a man, I want to look like a man. Like,
Yeah. Call me. I was trying to think of a J name. Jake. No.
call me Jaddy. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
And on that note, I think we need to end this.
I need some food.
Any final thoughts you want to throw in though before?
Like she said, don't feel like every time you look in a mirror, like, one of my things my counselor Derek told me is, like, literally stop looking in the fucking mirror. Like, stop looking. Because anytime I'd go, I'd be like,
yep, picking at yourself, or
and it's like, why? Stop. You'll
Yeah.
always find something to critique when you're looking.
Yeah, definitely.
You're always gonna find something. So just stop. Or if you do look in the mirror, literally, even if you don't believe it in the first few times, 100 times you say it, I'm beautiful. I have a nice ass.
Mm-hmm.
I love my arms. I love my big muscular shoulders. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna feel disgusting and weird and like kind of icky, you know? Because like just saying that right now, I'm like, no, you fucking don't. Well, liar. Kidding. But it takes time. So like she said, be kind to yourself. If you know that you're triggered by, social media, like get off of social media or put a timer on your phone. Don't be on there as much, or like pick and choose when you look at it. If you're about to go out with girlfriends and you scroll on social media and then you see someone that you're comparing yourself to, and then you're gonna have a shit night because you don't look like that person, like you're not supposed to look like that person, and usually that person on social media doesn't even really look like that either. So it's all perspective, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Mic drop. That's good. But yeah, we will do another podcast about her miscarriage when she's ready to talk about that.
Yeah. We'll be brainstorming too on other things, see if there's anything else we want to talk about first before we get to that, which doesn't matter to me either way.
Yeah.
But also if you guys have any questions or if you want us to do like a Q&A or anything, like let us know.
We have 18?
I think 16.
Oh.
16 followers. Well, shout out to all 16 of you.
2 of them are us.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter though.
Yeah. Also, go find my personal channel because I'm going to start sharing my pregnancy stuff on there.
Give her a follow.
Yeah.
Should you tell her your name?
Simply Sydney. SYDNEY.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got 9 followers already.
That's freaking so cool. How many videos have you made?
I haven't even posted a full video. I've just posted a short.
I don't even know what the fuck a short is.
It's like a TikTok kind of, but just YouTube.
Yeah,
but I have a video that I need to get edited.
I don't have enough gonads to do that myself. I have to be with you before I like post anything.
Yeah.
If I had to do this by myself, I'd be like,
yeah,
I'd be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, working on it though.
But,
just because I want to share my journey and help other women along the way.
Yeah, it'll motivate people for sure.
Yep. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.